In the shadows where the evil looks and calls, dragons rise from ashes, breaking down the walls. With a fire in their hearts, they ignite the night. The will of a demon in the heavens blight. Vengeance is mine, no escape from my throne. Face my wrath, you'll see how seeds are sown. Dragon's blood runs deep, hear the battle drums. In the scare of shadows, only the wicked come. Fight to live or die, the night's fierce embrace. And in a world of fury, I'll carve my place. I'll carve my place. The ground trembles, your silence is the prey. Fighting back the darkness, I'm here to slay. Devil's fury.
Dante Hinton The Movie 5, released on November 16, 2017. This is the fifth installment of the Dante Hinton The Movie series. The film consists of 20 characters, 9 returning and 11 new characters, displaying a dark turned tone throughout the series as the beginning of the Sacred Realm arc. After defeating Raiji at the Mystical Tower, the Sacred Realm world was at peace, believing Dante was successful in lifting the Black Dragon curse. Elsewhere, an old enemy returns after laying low, plotting his revenge. The Sorcerer of Darkness, Rujinra Kazumura, returns to get his revenge. Months after his defeat by the hands of Dante for a second time, Rujinra learns about the Slayer Squad relocating to the southern lands. 2 years later, he and a group of assassins invade the Slayer's mansion to eliminate both Dante and Jai-Ray, resulting in an explosion, with Jai-Ray being missing. Meanwhile, in the real world, Dante, now in college, plans on getting ready to move out of town. However, out of nowhere, he begins to have nightmares, triggering an evil force within him. To his shock and annoyance, Dante learns that the Black Dragon curse is still lingering around. Later, he stumbles across a mysterious letter and invitation to a tournament. Knowing it's Rujinra, Dante, getting sick and tired of Rujinra, plans on entering the tournament to finish him off for good and actually end the curse. Once he got there, he gets word that the Slayer Squad was attacked by Rujinra's forces and Jai-Ray is missing. Unbeknownst to anyone, Jai-Ray survived the explosion in time, but is in grave condition. He lays low to recover as the events take place. Dante rounds up his group, the Urban Legend unit, once again to find Rujinra and give a signal whenever they do. Among them is the new addition to the team, Sarah Chang. She travels with Amy Brew, who led the team in Dante's absence, despite the Sacred Realm Kingdom's orders to disband. King Zormba enters the tournament as well, along with Brad Valshu after being attacked as well. He informs Dante that Rujinra also has a group of assassins working with him. One of the assassins happens to be Ryoko Itsuka, a female ninja from the Itsuka clan whom Rujinra lied to, telling her that Dante and his urban legend group killed her father. She joins Rujinra, seeing to it that she meets Dante and avenges her family. The other one is Rin Hiroshima, the second daughter of Kazumi Hiroshima and the younger half-sister of Kiyomi Tokiyama. Rin enters the tournament to learn more about her family's secrets. Trained by Ryoko in ninjutsu, she enters the tournament under Rujinra's orders to kill the Slayer Squad. Kiyomi, after the invasion, strikes out on her own in a violent rage which led her to Ryoko Itsuka. Remembering her at the mansion during the attack, she blindly rushes in to fight her only to be defeated by Ryoko. After the fight, Kiyomi heads to the eastern mountains to train after hearing about Rujinra's tournament and Dante's return. Elsewhere, Kazumi receives a revelation about Rujinra's hand in her former lover Natsu's death from an unknown source. 21 years ago, Kazumi was expelled from the Slayer Squad when she joined Rujinra in his endeavors, out of spite against Jai-Ray for having his own son exiled and killed, much to Kazumi's belief. The truth is, Natsu Tokiyama rebelled against Jai-Ray for blindly seeking vengeance against Rujinra for the death of his comrades, which led to his death against Rujinra. Rujinra lied to a pregnant Kazumi that Jai-Ray killed him, and after Kazumi believed him, she as well tried to kill him weeks after Kiyomi's birth, which led to her being expelled from the Slayer Squad. Seeing that now, Kazumi plans to make amends by defeating Rujinra. She uses black magic to resurrect her beloved Natsu, which she is successful. Natsu Tokiyama is the father of Kiyomi Tokiyama and Ayumi Mizuki. At that time before his death, he was the co-captain of the Slayer Squad, with the guaranteed position as the headmaster if Jirei were to either die or retire. Unfortunately, he was killed by Rujinra. Now, 21 years later, Natsu plans on getting revenge against Kazumi and Rujinra. Jintaro Kazumura, Rujinra's son. Jintaro is a warrior from the Kazumura clan, a people long ago forgotten after a war. He learns that his father Rujinra is a sorcerer, and plans on starting up a war to resurrect the fallen Kazumura warriors. He also knows about his struggle with Dante. After the announcement of the tournament, Jintaro trains with the blood-stained katana. Davian Jenkins, Dante's cousin, and Genesis Hinton, Dante's sister, also enter the tournament. Just as Dante left, the sacred portal was left open. Unbeknownst to Dante, the family is once again dragged into the shenanigans of Rujinra Kazumura and the Sacred Realm Kingdom. Long thought to be dead, the princess of the Sacred Realm Kingdom is resurrected by magic used by Kazumi. The queen requested this. The purpose is to eliminate the black dragon spirit within Dante. She returns to the kingdom, much to the kingdom's surprise. Dr. Crowbane, before he died, finished the Trinity Alpha Project, an artificial angelic form from a sacred orb which can drain demonic energy. He enters it inside Princess Ruby while she was sleeping. Meanwhile, Dante looks for Rujinra, but the evil power begins to take over again. As he falls unconscious, an evil emerges and manifests itself as the Black Dragon King, Midnight Salazar. As the tournament commences, fighters in the competition defeat their scheduled opponents. This includes Kiyomi Tokiyama and Ryoko Itsuka. These two meet again, much to Ryoko's fear since the last time they fought. Ryoko at the time was able to defeat Kiyomi, barely escaping with her life. Now the fight begins at the tournament. Kiyomi ultimately defeats Ryoko. Impressed by Ryoko's skill, Kiyomi questions her motive behind working for Rujinra. She informs Ryoko that Rujinra is only using her for his own agenda. At that time, Ryoko suddenly attacks Kiyomi and escapes using tear gas, but Kiyomi chases after her only to be captured by Rujinra. Meanwhile, Kazumi sees Rujinra's actions and plans on betraying him, not knowing Tamara Lewis, another subordinate of Rujinra's, is actually watching her. Later in the tournament, Davian and Genesis defeat their opponents. Davian defeats King Zormba, and Genesis, after defeating her opponent, looks for Dante to find out what's going on with him. Unknown to her, Dante is in the real world after being thrusted by Princess Ruby's power. However, the Black Dragon, now known as Midnight Salazar, speaks inside his mind that his resurrection is at hand, and Rujinra is an obstacle. Dante then receives another letter signed by Kazumi Hiroshima to meet her at Kairu Temple in the Northwestern Lands. An evil smirk spread across his lips as he morphs into the Black Dragon hybrid and takes flight. Meanwhile, Jirei, finally recovered from his injuries, is surprised to see his son Natsu back from the dead. However, their reunion is cut short as Kazumi confronts them both, challenging them, to Natsu's confusion. He learns about Kazumi and Rujinra's actions and challenges her. Kazumi tries to explain her actions and informs them both about Rujinra's plans on starting a war. Secretly witnessing this, Tamara reports back to Rujinra to inform him of Kazumi's betrayal. Natsu defeats Kazumi, who has used black magic on herself to become the great fox demon Teku Majin, a legendary fox-like spirit, a mythical creature within the Sacred Realm legends. She had originally planned on using this against her fight against Rujinra, but the energy within the orb took over her. Dante, now morphed into Midnight, arrives on the scene. Jirei and Natsu try to stop Dante, but they both end up being tossed to the wall by the demon dragon's telekinesis. The fight begins as Midnight and Teku clash, ultimately with Midnight defeating Teku. The battle has ended with both Midnight and Teku unconscious. Meanwhile, Sarah, led by the urban legend's co-captain Amy, defeat Rujinra's forces. Ryoko, after recovering from her injuries from the tournament, is given a task by Rujinra to eliminate the Sacred Realm Kingdom's guards and infiltrate the main hall to retrieve the sword of Kazuo, unknowingly to both her and Rujinra that Dante destroyed it 2 years ago. On a boat headed to the Western Lands, Amy runs into a group of Rujinra's minions and defeats them. Elsewhere, Rin, while joining Ryoko on her mission, hears that her sister Kiyomi Tokiyama is captured at Rujinra's headquarters. Once she got there, Rin sneaks into the temple with the intention of rescuing her. However, she runs into a guard. Rin tricks the guard, having him believe she'll seduce him, kicks him in the groin, and heads to the place where Kiyomi is captured. Dante returns to the real world after waking up. Midnight, still possessing him, plots on making the next move to kill Rujinra. Natsu wakes up as well, seeing Kazumi lying on the floor. He rushes to her side as she is barely conscious. Kazumi explains to him that he and Dante must defeat Rujinra and save Kiyomi. She gives him an orb that has the power necessary to transform into something strong enough to defeat Rujinra. Kazumi falls back unconscious as Natsu carries her out of the burning temple as it falls to the ground. He swears to get revenge against Rujinra at all costs. Meanwhile, the Sacred Realm Kingdom receives a disturbing letter concerning a war. Rujinra learns about his family's history and how they were involved in sealing the Black Dragon Midnight Salazar away thousands of years ago. He persuades the king to join him to hunt down the resurrected beast, though Rujinra has an ulterior motive.